What is up, everybody? Welcome again, another vintage chill and chat. It's been a couple of weeks now. Think about I don't know, 2 weeks since the last chill and chat. But I'm back, and I took a small week break, I guess you could say. I am used to doing about, contributing about 3 to 4 videos a week. And then you have the chill and chat and the cardboard and cold ones. But I took some time to kind of just for myself, really. And really, the storm is right ahead of us. When I mean storm, I'm talking about just the amount of videos that are going to be, it's going to be a storm of videos from all sides. You won't know what hit you. If this is your first year as a participant, a lurker, or somebody that's making videos for their channel, and you're hitting the national season weeks ahead, it's a whirlwind. It's a whirlwind effect, and you gotta get ready for it. So, quite honestly, I took a little bit of a breather between videos because I knew just how intense it's gonna get. But because of that intensity, things have been announced that I'm involved with, and so I'll further that announcement tonight. And two major things in particular. And I kind of just want to kind of get a glimpse from everybody since I've been really away from the hobby for about a week, just trying to see what's going on. I was out of town all weekend, and it was great. Got a chance to go up north. That was awesome. You see some live music. Nothing better than that. And of course, drinking a cold beer, which is what I'm doing tonight. It's not the beer you're thinking of. I'm down to 2 beers left. I'm saving the last two. One for cardboard and cold ones this upcoming week, and then one for Hobby Palooza. But let me do a roll call. Let's take a look. Mike is asking you drinking your favorite beer. Yeah, I'm saving it for Thursday. Where's the Thunder from Down Under? Yeah, he's here. Right here. Live and real. No AI. Jay is here. What's up, everybody? Just finished watching Aaron and Jason. Yep, I saw those guys for just for a brief moment, letting them just carry on doing their thing. Steve with the PH is here. Blue collar cards. Trevor, man, thank you. I got your awesome care package. I got it last week, and I'm sorry I didn't reply back. I wanted to save it for start of the week, which is tomorrow. So I'm gonna have a video out with your generous care package. So Trevor, thank you again, man. That's really awesome of you that you sent something, and it's a really cool piece. Mike J. Hawker is here. Chris Missouri is here. Jim is here. I think Jim is. Yeah, I saw Jim earlier with the comment. Phil Negro fan. Ruben's here. Dave Peacemaker Cards. MC Joe is here. Eric is here. Good evening, happy friends. Doug Joewood Collector. Keith from Lonely Basement Cards. Rob from Cash Cards. Carl is breakfast time in Melbourne. Down under, truly, man. Orlando is here. Ross loves cards. My buddy Mookie is here. Pastor Craig, James Gillum is here. Neil is here. A lot of people, man. Good, nice turnout tonight. I appreciate you guys being here for this. Mike, Sports History Collector, is here. Brian from Hodges is here. Melissa, good to see you as always. And Sammy, Jason, and Aaron's live. Have you playing the sloppy seconds this week? I guess so. I suppose so. But it is all good. Killabrew Kurt is here. And yeah, man, absolute respect. Thank you so much, Trevor. I'm going to share it tomorrow in the start of the week. But yeah, God. Good weekend for my Pirates. I'm not even going to get into that. I can't watch the Mets right now. It's just impossible. So, What's been going on this week? What's the hobby stir up for the vintage community this week? What's stirring everybody up? I've been really out of it, so I haven't really watched too many videos, to be honest with you. I've really been out of it purposely, kind of just taking a step out of whatever is going on in the hobby. And it seems like every week there's always something new. So if anybody wants to chime in the chat, let me know what's going on in the hobby, and we can maybe talk a little bit about that. But I think the going forward, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of big announcements. So I figured let's talk about the first one, Hobby Palooza 2025. That is coming up very, very soon. I want to say, I gotta look at my calendar again just to get a glimpse of when this is happening. July 18th, starting Friday, all the way through July 20th on Sunday. So Hobby Palooza, July 18th to July 20th. And John is really kind of spearheading. John is the primary driver of Hobby Palooza and making sure the logistics and everything goes as smoothly as possible. And so pretty much, my involvement on it is there's the graphics. And so I put this together. This is the main, just kind of like the main graphic for Hobby Palooza this year. And a lot of the thumbnails that are going to be generated will be applying this sort of color scheme graphical design. So I ask if anybody here in the chat is participating in one of the live streams for Hobby Palooza 2025, whether you are hosting a show or you are a guest on a show, I ask you kindly, please email me, SammyThunderCards@gmail.com. Help make my job a lot easier. I need you to send selfies of yourself. If you're a guest or you are hosting a show, if you want to have your thumbnail look awesome and not force me to go take screenshots on every video that you've done or have to hunt you down to find screenshots, send me a selfie. It will look a lot better than a screenshot will. SammyThunderCards@gmail.com. It takes 2 seconds to take a selfie. I can do the rest. Just make it a lot easier that way, guys. Save yourself the trouble. So again, if you are hosting a live stream on Hobby Palooza, or if you are a guest on a Hobby Palooza live stream, send me an email with a selfie. That's honestly, it's going to look a lot better. We will appreciate it as a whole. The Four Collectors Group will appreciate it because our thumbnails will look a lot better. Screenshots suck. They look like crap. They don't do you justice. They don't do your show or you appearing on a show justice. So, yes, please do this. Please. It'll make my life a lot easier, and it will make your thumbnail look a lot better. So, again, that's for Hobby Palooza 2025 on July 18th through July 20th. We have the list of all the participants. I know who you are if you don't. So chances are, if you're not watching this, obviously you're not going to catch this. But again, just doing due diligence, spreading it forward, making sure that we are all aware of what's going on. So again, yes, Hobby Palooza is right around the corner. If you haven't experienced that yet, that's part of this whole tornado of awesomeness that's going to be happening over the next few weeks. And it lines up so beautifully with the National that you're going to be getting videos about the National, want lists, preparing for a road for the National Series, and so forth. So, sorry, I got to take a sip. Lots happening. I see John 3D80s Kid is here. I assume, John, you can tell me if otherwise. If we can't, I can't see why not. Theo announced the other thing on on Jeremy's show, so I'm safe to mention it here to further the promotion. But you could tell me no if I shouldn't. But I'm happy to do it here because I have the graphic ready to go. So I'll wait for John's answer on that just before I want to spill something, even though I know Theo already mentioned it, announced it. But otherwise, okay, cool. You gave me the go ahead. So the other announcement, the other big announcement you probably already heard on Jeremy's live stream that he did last night. But in case you didn't, Theo was on the live stream, on Jeremy Lee's live stream, and at Sports Card Live, and made the big announcement, guys. I think some of you might have seen this coming, but if you didn't, voila. We are hosting the Four Collectors we are hosting the Vintage Trade Night at the National this year. That's a pretty big thing, pretty big deal. Vintage Trade Night, August 2nd. I want to say that is, sorry, I got to look at my calendar again. That is a Saturday. Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, obviously, Chicago at the Donald D. Stevens Convention Center. This is pretty straightforward. It's happening right after the show's over for that night. So, yes, we're going to have giveaways. I know there's going to be some T-shirts involved as well. We're working on, Theo's kind of spearheading this. So you have like John's doing the Hobby Palooza, Theo's spearheading the Vintage Trade Night. Dan, myself, and Caesar are kind of playing support roles. We're gonna have stickers. I put the stickers together and got them shipped. John has them now, so we're gonna have stickers in these little giveaway packages. Wax packs from the 80s to give out, and I think there's a major giveaway that we're giving out. We're still working on the logistics on that. But the trade night, it should be really awesome. I'd imagine it's going to be the similar vibes to the Strongsville one. But I mean, I know a lot of people are traveling externally, so I don't know how many people are going to have display cases and whatnot like they did at Strongsville. But I think, there's going to be tables set up for you guys to, lay out some cards if you want to trade. And I don't know what the size of the room is going to look like either. I'd imagine it's going to be a lot bigger than the Strongsville, but I guess we'll wait and see and kind of determine how this looks. But man, big deal, big times. I don't believe there's going to be any food at this one. This one's pretty straightforward. We're just going to have the space, and we're going to just fill the room up with anybody that wants to come in. And we're going to do the best we can to provide some awesome giveaways or just some fun stuff to hand out to everybody that shows up. So looking forward to it. And again, that's on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, right after the show finishes for that night. And John is saying here, let me get what he said. He says, convention food vendors still operating, so we cannot cater. Yeah, so, I mean, it makes sense. But if you guys were at the National last year, you saw they had food vendors, food trucks. I imagine they're going to have food trucks as well. I think that was an awesome idea as well, by the way, having food trucks there. Just made life a lot easier. Instead of going up to those convenience counters that they had, which had 3-month-old hot dogs. So anyway, that is that Vintage Trade Night, big announcement. This and I want to also give some props. I can't say, Mookie was saying that he thought the design was awesome. It was actually done by Dean, who does a lot of graphic design work. So that's really cool. So thank you, Dean, for taking some time to work on this. But those are the announcements as far as what I have. I think I guess this was normally it's a triple header. I kind of started off. Then you have Alex from Bowman 53 hosting Card Room Live, and then we have Four Collectors at 9 p.m. But we had an opener to the opener. We had Jason and Aaron open it up at 6 p.m., which cool, man. it's cool not to be the opening act anymore. So, and I heard those guys trolling, man. There he is. There's Jason. Trolling strong, man. Telling, saying, or actually Aaron was Aaron was the troll, saying that he wants everybody to push me to try to bridge the gap between Mathewson and Mays. And tall order, my friend. Very tall order. But let me see. Dean's channel is not easy to remember. West 238th. Yes. Doug, where will the trade night be held? Donald D. Stevens Convention Center, right at literally the same location as the National. I think they will have signs because there's other trade nights happening as well, so they're going to have it in the same room. Trade night will be in the VIP lounge, we believe. All right, so John kind of filled that gap for you there. But yes, that is where it's being held. I'm just kind of checking on the chat. So I'm sorry to hear, Dave, that you won't be able to make it. But I mean, it sounds like this won't be the first time we're going to be doing this, as you know. So, and I'm sorry to hear that Orlando is leaving Chicago on Saturday. Orlando, when are you arriving Wednesday? That's when I'll be getting in. And thank you, Warren. Appreciate it, man. It's yeah, we the discussion to have it was I think people were really inspired by the Strongsville trade night being a big success, and I think there was kind of discussion based on continuing that at the National. And so we thought that I guess a lot of moving pieces had to take place because we don't really. I can't. I mean, I can't. I can only speak for myself, but I mean, I don't. We don't really have direct connections with people in the committee that organized the National, but we went through some people that were pivotal in making this happen. I think Howard Chasser was one of them to, kind of create discussion, and I know Leighton Sheldon was another one who kind of helped stir some discussion as well. So. I guess a lot of moving pieces. Things were moving, and they moved quick. So, which is awesome. Let's see. Just kind of checking in the rest of the chat here. Awesome news. Excited for the trade night. Yes. We have. I know Leighton and someone else connected. Singing their praises. Yeah, absolutely. To thank for it. Yeah. James saying that Strongsville was my National. A lot of people seem to kind of share that same sentiment, especially because it's just pure vintage at Strongsville. What would a 67 Seaver and a PSA 5 go for these days? I can't really do a search right now because I'm literally in the middle of the live stream, but I don't know, maybe $1,500, $14, $15, maybe even more. I would just check. You can check websites like 130point.com, lets you do a search for a card that's sold through auctions or eBay, and you can get an idea that way. But I'm guessing around 15, maybe 15 to 1600. I'll be heading to California in a second, so we'll miss trade night. I want a sticker. We'll work it out. We have 500 stickers, so I'm sure we can send you one of them. I can't imagine that being a problem. We could. How is a Seaver almost 60 years old? That's a good. Yeah, that's scary to think of. It's an old card, man. It's funny, but there are certain cards that are, there's like, you think of like pre-war cards. I mean, just the longevity of them, the fact that they've kind of maintained their quality and just condition over that many years, remarkable. Jeremy says trade night brought new money back into the show the next day. Seems like that will be true Sunday at the National. Win-win. Yeah. I'd say that's true. Yeah. What it definitely, it had two effects, Jeremy. Definitely had the effect. More people had more money going into the final day. That is very true. What it also did is it provided an outlet for a lot of the dealers who were set up at Strongsville who needed to replenish their inventory found opportunities to do it at the trade night. Um, I think, but it was a combination. I think there were dealers, like, for example, first person that comes to mind is Stan. Stan, from Stan's Vintage Baseball or Sports Cards, Stan's Vintage Sports Cards. Stan bought stuff for his collection as well, but he definitely bought stuff to put into his inventory case. And so, yes, I completely agree that twofold. Trade night brought new money back into the pockets of collectors to go into the show for the final day to buy more stuff, and it also provided dealers an outlet to get some more inventory. And I think, yeah, you're definitely going to see the same for this. I think that's a great point. Sammy, is there a card you're going to that yourself to? You got to rewrite that, Ruben. I don't know what the hell you're saying, man. Is there a card you're going to that? I'm sorry. Let me try to read this. Sammy, is there a card you're going to that yourself to? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm lost on that one. If you don't mind rewriting that, Ruben, just so I can understand. John did the research per VCP over the last year. Receiver in a PSA 5 high. Okay, so it's gone down 1375, low 998, 1211. Aaron, my troll friend. It is amazing that vintage is in an era no longer the standard definition. Yes. Vintage is in an era no longer the standard. What do you mean specifically by that? No longer the standard definition is in an era. Vintage has many eras. We talk a lot about the splits of like the golden age and pre-war, and I call the 80s the retro period, but you guys can go further into that if you want. Craig mentioned plus trade night, a chance to get friend price as well. I certainly did. I bought something from trade night. It's actually sitting right there. That's the Willie Mays. It's from the 68 Bazooka box, and it's like a little tab, and that came from the Petty collection. So I bought that from Petty. And yeah, Warren agrees. And Steve with the PH, he bought his Jackie 48 Swell that trade night. I remember who you bought that from. That was pretty sweet. Peeps is here. What's up, Peeps? Yeah, Mook with this page. That one was, I don't know if that was the result of Mookie selling stuff at trade night and then going in the next day. I think it was a combination. He sold stuff to Garrett from Ballpark Memories, made a significant dent with that, to then go over to Chappell's table to buy that Satchel page. That was a big one. Maybe get for yourself for your 40. I'm actually, so if that's what he meant, I'm not turning 40. I'm turning 39, but it is close. Yeah, it is very close. But as far as like stuff, I took a break from, the hobby this week. And so I haven't really been looking. There's a Mathewson on the Heritage auction right now that I'm looking at, but it's starting to go. I'm hesitant because there's other stuff that I want. There's a great Mathewson postcard on Heritage that I'm looking at right now. It's already past the mark that I kind of expected it to be at, so I'm a little hesitant on moving forward with it. It's also not it's a nice looking postcard, but it's not my favorite looking card. And so aesthetically, I might be focusing, holding on to my money and waiting to see what's at the National and go from there. Sorry, Ruben. I'm sorry. Is there a card you're going to? Okay. Yeah. So like I mentioned, I'm not turning 40, but close enough, 39. And like I said, I got to think it through. I haven't really. I'll definitely do like a want video at some point. I'm sure. There will be a list of cards that I'm looking for. I haven't really thought of it too much yet, but definitely in the coming days. Let's see. And Keith says he bought a Mattingly from Steven to refill the coffers. Nice. Let's see. I understood Ruben hasn't started drinking yet, man. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Ruben. or in this case, 7 o'clock. Oh man. Mike is asking, do you have the Maze game card and Deckle Edge from 68 and 69? You're talking about the Topps game. I've had them. They come and go. Like, I like the Topps game cards. I think they're really cool. But they're so easy to get. So it's not something that, I'm focusing too much on. If I can get a really decent, like a good looking one that I don't have to pay through the bank for, which they don't really go for that much, but if I can get a good price on one that I see just in a bargain bin box or something like that, absolutely. The decal edges don't really speak to me. Honestly, what appeals to me these days is finding tougher stuff that you don't see. So, like for example, if I can find I don't know if the decal edge proof had maze had a decal edge proof, but I'm sure he did. I can look it up, but that'd be cool to find. So, Maze, Willie Corn. Mike Petty has, yeah. So Petty, that caught. I saw you mention that in Aaron and Jason's live stream. You have 1959 home run derby cards at the National, reasonably priced with my appeal. You're not selling your Maze, are you? Are you like what are you? Which of the home run derby cards are you selling? Because you have me intrigued. So, yeah, you gotta let me know. How we expose the mantle? That's good. That's probably the first card. What's up, Jake? Jake T. O'Donnell's here. Wax Pack Wisdom. Sammy can't face 40, so he's turning into Jack Benny. I know who Jack Benny is. I'm old enough to know that. Do we need birthdays as an excuse to treat ourselves to cards? Clearly not. Absolutely not. I sold cards at Traded to get a Vinny Mantle. So, yeah, Orlando's another, and he bought that from Tim Payne the next day. So, yeah, that was another success, another successful trade night story. Just trying to see. My Judge card is worth more than my Mantle at the moment. Interesting. I mean, Judge is having another historic season. Ryan is here. I'm really looking forward to the National, but not so much for the cards, but for fellow collectors. Is there anyone you're really looking forward to seeing? I haven't met Caesar yet, and Caesar's going, man. That's pretty cool. Like, the four collectors group, and he's the only collector that I haven't met. So it's cool that he'll be there. So yeah, I'd say Caesar. So Petty says he bought a big lot and have some great doubles. Petty, is the Maze included in that? Again, is the Maze included in that? The one that you have, is that you're holding? I can't imagine you're gonna let that one go. I have a really nice Maze, K-Line, Hodges. Okay, so you are what? So let me understand this. Is the Maze? Do you have double of the Maze now? Is that what's going on? You have two of them. Tony Southern Collector, what's up, buddy? Yeah, you got Brian interested now. Orlando's saying that he'll be on with Caesar for Hobby Palooza on Saturday. So you have triples of the Maze. All right, Petty, I'm gonna text you afterwards, man. I have so many questions about this right now. So yeah, that's. I mean, I have the one that I have, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right about that, Keith. So absolutely. Oh man, Pastor Craig likes the K line. How did you end up getting triples or like this huge lot? Did you win it in an auction or something like that? Sounds like you. I mean, and I'm assuming they're all graded. Robert's asking, do you collect any pop culture stuff besides baseball cards like vintage toys or music memorabilia? Not really. It's not really my thing. I collect. It's not so much collecting. Well, it sort of is. What I like some of them. As a musician, I have like '80s drum machines, Roland synthesizers that were made in the '80s. So there's a drum machine that was made by Roland. in 1984, 85, called the TR-909. And so there were only like 10,000 that were ever made, and so I have one of them, which is pretty cool. Yes. Kmart Big Lots. All graded new PSA holders. Yeah, Petty, I'll text you afterwards, man. I have to inquire with you about that. Don't ask Sammy, just buy the card. I don't. Well, yeah, but I have to see the card first. I mean, I just got to see it. So it's pretty crazy. So Triple V says, I make tunes. I own several 70s and 80s synths, drum machines, and other modules. Do I like Joy Division? Of course. Yeah, Joy Division was pivotal in the Manchester music scene in the late 70s, early 80s. Factory Records, whole 9 yards. But I'm not going to bore everybody with those details now. Did you ever open the Seaver game? I did not, and I won't. It's sealed nicely, sitting on my table right now. Actually, it's right over here. You just can't see it. But yeah, no, I haven't opened it. I thought I was tempted because I like the because there's a card inside, and I wonder if you can grade it, but I'm not going to do that. Jeremy is here. What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you, man. Hey, friends. So I have turned into a set collector. Man, do I have my work cut out for me? Remain patient, Jacob. Don't go off the deep end. It's very easy to do that if you're set collecting now. But good luck. So, yeah, man. Shoot, I don't really know what else there is to really discuss. I'm just kind of going off the chat right now. But I'll just mention this again because we have 68 people, and I made this announcement earlier. If you are participating in Hobby Palooza 2025 this year, when I mean participating, if you are hosting a show or you are a guest on a show, I am making your thumbnails. I'm making all the thumbnails for all the shows. And so I ask you guys, if you are hosting a show or you are a guest on a show, send me an email at sammythundercards@gmail.com. All I'm asking from you guys is to send me a selfie of yourself. If you want to share selfies of guests that are going to be on your show, or if you are a guest on the show, send me a photo of yourself so that I can put it in the thumbnail. I'm telling you, the thumbnail will look a million times better if you have a photo that you took of yourself rather than me hunting down a screenshot to do that. It will look a lot better. So again, sammythundercards@gmail.com. If you're a host or you are a guest this year, send me a photo so that I can put it in the thumbnail. It will look a lot better. Just wanted to make that announcement again because we have more people in the live stream right now. So it'll make my life a lot easier too. Much, much easier. Greg is saying that just recorded a session with John and 4 collectors with some of my cards. That's awesome. And I'm sure that it will get a lot of good attention from it as well. People just love seeing cards. That's, at the end of the day, that's the core of it all. So very cool. Keith says if you're participating in the 30-hour 88 Don Russ Rip, there are no thumbnails. Well, I guess if you find who's big from 88, Tom Glavine, Roberto Alomar. No, Alomar's not in 88. He's in the 88 traded, right? I think. I don't think he's in 88. Anyway, it goes to show how many boxes I'm ripping into. So, yeah, Dave Parker, man, such a sad thing to hear about him. Dave Parker, brother. I was talking about it with my wife, actually. I was saying, there are players who don't get put into the Hall of Fame until after they pass away. And no fault to anybody, I don't think, but it's just more of a shame. But I think this one kind of hits. It's bittersweet because Dave Parker knew that he was going in the Hall of Fame. But now he won't be able to get his opportunity to get his flowers on stage uh, from everybody. Won't be able to to deliver a speech, and so that's a shame. That's truly the sad part about it. But at least at the very least that he knew that he was getting in. So um, yeah, man, I'm sure his family will speak on his behalf, and but yeah, man, rest in peace, the Cobra, great player, and it's again good that he was able to know that he was getting in prior to his passing. John is saying Mark Grace, his rookie card is in there. Al Leiter, and you said that Alomar is in there. Of course, Greg Jeffries. Yeah, we're so hoping to see him at Cooperstown 1 month from his speech. I hope he was able to appreciate it. Yeah, listen, man, it's not good. It's not good, but hell of a career. Looking at his stats, he should have. I mean, we all can say the same thing that he should have gotten sooner, and he probably should have. But um, it's just a lot of weird, like certain unwritten thresholds that are put in place. Like you have to have 3,000 hits, or you have to have 500 home runs, or you know. You have to kind of meet certain criterias that just it's not the same for every player, but and it becomes like borderline for certain players if they don't hit those points. Melissa's asking if anyone's going to Cooperstown during induction weekend. Um, when is induction weekend? Actually, I think it's the end of July. Is the end of July usually? Let me see. I'm looking it up. Yeah, July 25th through the 28th is when it's happening. I will be in Cooperstown. Obviously not for that, but I'll be there between like August 3rd and August 4th through August 8th. One of those days, I'll be going to Cooperstown. I usually try to go once a year. Let's see. Let's see. I'm just trying to catch up on the chat here. How has Steve Garvey never been elected? We knew he was a Hall of Famer when he was still playing. I got to look at Steve Garvey's stats again. I know he was a good player. Let me see what his stats say. 294, about 2,600 hits, 272 home runs, Gold Glove winner. Yeah, he has the accolades to do it. I mean, he's up there with Dave Parker. He was Garvey's an MVP, Gold Glove winner, MVP champion, NLCS MVP. So he's really he's done it all. I imagine he'll get in at some point. I assume the drug stuff hurt. Are you referring to Garvey? Underrated player from '88, Eddie Murray, 500 home runs, 3,000 hits. Eddie Murray, man, what a beast he was. Just trying to see what's going on in the chat. Steve Garvey probably will never make it into the Hall of Fame in any capacity. The senior committee are the ones who dictate who gets in and who never gets in. So does he have a bad rap with the senior committee? That's the only thing I can think of is why you would suggest that. It's usually before or after the national. Has that always been the case? I guess it must be. Too bad I channel my inner Keating when it comes to crowds. I go the opposite way. Rue Dog, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Always a pleasure. Ron Santo, Leon Day. Keith says he refuses to go up until Mattingly or Munson are elected. Munson, I think, will get elected first before Mattingly. That's my prediction. First base without lots of homers struggled to get into the Hall. Yeah, that's true. But But you can also, like, Adam Dunn, for example, has over 400 home runs, but his batting average was crap, so he'll never get in. Mark Hoyle, good to see you, buddy. What do you think about Andrew Jones? Let me look at Andrew Jones's numbers. His batting average is what intrigues me first. His batting average is 254, 434 home runs. So his power is great, and the Gold Gloves really seal it for him. But his batting average is subpar. Uh, but there's guys in the Hall of Fame who batted like 260. Let me see. One player in particular, like almost 260. So Harmon Killebrew is batted 256, and but he was he was an MVP. Andrew Jones is never an MVP, but Andrew Jones has 10 Gold Gloves, and Killebrew has more home runs, but Killebrew has that has that threshold of 573 home runs. So there's that. It's unfair to make that comparison, I guess, but Andrew Jones again is like one of those borderline guys with a lot of power, great defense, but subpar batting average. So Robert's saying it's because the senior committee is only giving him a handful of votes. They're really tough on him. But what's the reason? Why are they really tough on him? That's what I'm curious. Who would have thought that Rose and Jackson might be elected before Munson and Mattingly? Munson, I think, is going to get in. I guess Rose. I mean, Pete Rose and Joe Jackson, I guess, are gonna. Yeah, I guess they are gonna get in next year. I can't imagine why they wouldn't. Freehan before Munson for sure. Let me look at Bill Freehan's numbers now. You guys have me jumping around here. 262, 200 home runs, 758 RBIs. Thurman, Munson. Looking at his numbers now. Yeah, Munson didn't have as much power, but his batting average was better. And and he was, MVP, two-time world champ. Bill Freehan, world 68 world champ, 5-time Gold Glove award, and Munson was a 3-time. I think Munson overall has the provenance. I guess also being a Yankee as well helps in his favor. So work ethic doesn't get you in the Hall of Fame. Mattingly was barely in the Hall of Good. Those are fighting words for Keith. Anyway, yeah, I mean, we could talk this whole topic completely blue. Who should get in, who shouldn't get in, and we'll see what happens. But we're hitting about 45 minutes now. I'm probably going to head out, guys. But stick around. Alex Bowman 53 with the Card Room Live. I think he's hosting tonight at 8 o'clock, and then 4 Collectors at 9 p.m. Thank you guys for sticking around. And again, one more time, Hobby Palooza is July 18th. I probably should have made a graphic that showed the dates. July 18th through the July 20th. If you're hosting, again, if you are hosting or a guest on one of the live streams, please, please, please email me. Send me thundercards@gmail.com. Send me a selfie. Send me a selfie so I can put into the thumbnails. I'm making all the thumbnails for this year. It'll make my life a lot easier, make my job a lot easier. It's just really helpful. So please do that. And finally, again, don't forget Vintage Trade Night. It has been announced that this year at the National on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, we will be hosting the 4 Collectors. We will be hosting the Vintage Trade Night. The trade night is going to be happening right after the show ends that Saturday. And wanted to we'll give special thanks to our sponsors, Collector Investor Auctions. That is Chris Sewell and Jeremy Dodson, the Texas Snowman. We also have Leighton from Just Collect, as well as Howard Chasser from A Few of My Favorite Things. We'll have fun giveaways to give out to people, T-shirts, at a limited run of T-shirts, and stickers and packs of cards, and a massive giveaway at the very end. So Make sure that we're going to be promoting this, so you're going to hear more and more about this. But thank you guys so much again for jumping on and joining me tonight. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of the live streams, and I'll see you tomorrow for start of the week. So take care, everybody.